Welcome guys back to my channel, Newbie Money. Today or yesterday actually, because I couldn't film, I was gone. I was trading in a different place and I didn't have the soul set up, so I wasn't able to post this video yesterday. But hands down the most craziest day of my life. Absolutely nothing in comparison. Emotions all-time high, volatility all-time high for me. But yeah, so let's just say at one point I ate a 1.7k loss in one trade within probably 45 seconds, probably less, to be honest. It was crazy. It was CCIV, and the stock went from like 1650 to like 1870 in like a period of like 5 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, this is a perfect entry. So I shorted it with 1900 shares. Then within seconds it was halted at like 20 something, and it just ruined me, man, at that point. Because the thing is, even before then I had this weird fluctuation where I made $600 within the first 5 minutes of the market, then gave that back after 15, then bought it back up to like 600, then I hovered between that 600 to 300, and I'm like telling myself, I'm like, all right, like this is Friday, you gotta relax, take it easy, just trade really good setups. And when I saw CCIV go that high, I was like, that's a good setup, I'm gonna take that, and ruined me. But somehow managed to come out from there to being $1,200 up. So yeah, that's crazy. Also to add, so usually I trade 23,000 shares. Like, I would say my average is probably 15. So my commission goes anywhere from like 80 to 100, sometimes as high as 180. I traded 80,000 shares on Friday. So my commission was like $600, I think. So out of that $1,200 I made, I'm up $757. But hey man, I was down 1.5k. I don't even care. It's just, yeah, you know what, let's go to the trade recap and I'll show you guys what went down here.
Welcome to the New York Stock Exchange.
Financial district at the tip of Manhattan is easily.
Alright, so as you guys could see over here, we got $1,241 of realized profit that day. So, and at one point my CCIV was down quite a bit. It was at 1.7k. So I somehow managed to scalp my way back to $1,200. And yeah, just again to kind of show you guys the emotion, because I feel like the emotion is the main part I could share on this video. Is so like I said in the beginning, started out well, then I had a bad trade, then good trade. I was kind of noticing the same patterns that I had on Thursday, where I do a really good trade, bad trade, then a good trade, a bad trade, then I have that talk to myself, and I'm like, you know what, get your shit together, then you come back up to, you know, having a good day. So I was trying to avoid that after I noticed I made $600 and gave it all back up within the first half an hour. So after I gave that pep talk to myself, I was entering a point where I was I got to, I think, almost $600 back profit, and I was like, you're pretty much are gonna leave the market right now, or just wait for a really good setup. And when I saw that CCIV go from 1650 to 1890, 1870 within that short period, I was like, that's a really good setup. And that's why I hit it with 1900 shares. And yeah, so when that halted against me and I lost that 1.7, then like I think $300 after, so I was down like 1.5k at that. And I had to make a decision and say, am I gonna continue trading, or am I just gonna shut off the computer and eat this loss? So I just had this little talk to myself, and I'm like, this week has been really, really good. So me being down 1.5k at that point, it would have set me back to pre-Monday profit. So I was like, okay, you know, it sucks that you lost all this money, but this week has been one of those big aha moments in my trading career where I think I found a really good edge. And I'm proving it to myself that this is very useful with me scalping and me being very picky and kind of being able to slowly increase my P&L. So I'm like, okay, you didn't lose any money this week. You're basically back to normal, and you better than actually losing money or making money, you actually learned a really good tool. So just take that and accept that as a victory. Don't worry about the loss. So when I started thinking like that, I was very calm, I was very relaxed, and this idea popped in my head. I was like, okay, you know what, the market is so hot right now. Maybe if you follow your rules and go back, maybe you will be down only $1,000 for the day. So then that's what I did. I went back, then I noticed that then I was only down $1,000. Then I was like, okay, stick to it, keep going. Then I was only down $500. Then I was only down $200. Then I was up $100. Then I was up $300. Then it was just kind of slowly compounded like that. And each time, let's just say, I would be, only down 200. Then I make a bad trade. Then I'll go back to being down 500. Then I would recognize what I did, what got me there. So, for example, to give you guys is, let's just say, I'm waiting for an entry, and so it just spikes up. I'm trying to short the top, and it goes down, and I make that money. But then it spikes up a little bit, and I try to short it again. Then I lose $200. So I'm like, okay, from now on, you don't short those small spikes. You're only gonna short those big spikes. So I just tell myself to go back to the system that works for me, and I'm shorting big spikes or buying the dip of big drops. So I was just being patient, and it just kills me because, like, I don't know why I'm not being patient, because if I was patient the whole day right from the beginning, this could have been probably a 2k day, you know? But it's hard to get your emotions in order, you know? And I'm learning slowly, and I'm working on it. But yeah, it's being patient, and slowly I would just, I was adding 200, 300, losing 100, then adding 500, then brought it up to 1241 and traded 80,000 shares, which was, so I have a $757 profit, net profit in the end, which I'm so happy to get that. Like, I thought I was gonna be down 1.5k, right? So insane day, guys, insane. But let me show you on the chart for CCIV what happened. Alright, so this is the chart for CCIV. So I was trading other stocks, and but I was keeping an eye on CCIV, and I kind of saw this whole climb up, going higher and higher, and I was like, okay. And at this point, this is when I've already lost, then made back money, and now I'm looking for very selective trades. And so I was like, all right, if this pops, I'm looking at it to break the high of the high of the day. Then it pulled back. I was like, you know what, if this has a huge jump, it's probably gonna have a small maybe like a 1%, maybe 2% drop. Like, I'm kind of thinking here, then it fades a little bit, just people taking profit, then it could take off. I'm not, and I don't care if it takes off or not. I just want a 1-2% drop here. That's what I thought. So when I saw this huge spike, I was like, all right, that's really good. So I can probably just, on the next big candle, I can get in. So see this huge, right, another green candle, and I bought like 800 shares, like shorted. Then when it went up here, I just added enough to have 1900 shares around. I think 1890 to be true. Then I started going higher and higher. I was like, holy crap. Oh, like, what am I gonna do? And before I made a decision, things halted. And yeah, I'm down huge on the unrealized P&L. And honestly, I just sucked at this feeling, because if this thing opened up $2 more, for each dollar I'm losing $1,900. So it's a lot of money. So if it opened up $2 higher, I would have lost 3,800 plus the already 1,900 or 2K I was down. You know, so this is like a $5,000-6,000 like loss just like that. So at this point, I'm just telling myself how big of a dumbass I am. What was I thinking? But at the same time, I was like, you know what, like, you freaking out right now, it's not gonna help you. You just gotta stay true and just calm your titties. But then as soon as the market opened and started going down, I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna risk anything, and I pressed sell, and I sold at 1980. And it did like dip down, but man, honest to God, maybe I could have put a limit order at my entry price, which was 18. I think that would have gone down there, but I just didn't know what the hell was going on, man. I thought this was going up in $2, so when I saw any red, I was just like, get me the fuck out of here, and I got out. And yeah, then that's where I started just, you know, not feeling good. Then when I saw these kind of dips happening, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get back in. So as soon as this dip happened, bought like 800 shares, sold right here, bought more, sold here, shorted here, and by the time we got to this part, I was only down I think 600, maybe 500. Then I was gonna try to short, then I was like, maybe I should go long, because it was holding its price so well that I thought maybe this could go higher. And looking at the daily, looking at the daily here, I was like, maybe this could go higher and higher, right? That's what I was thinking. But I was like, you know what, it's too risky right now to do those kind of things where I'm gonna have a big position and wait for it to go higher. I'm just gonna only scalp, because scalping is what's really been helping me. So I'm glad I did that, because this thing had a demonic of a drop, something crazy. So at this point, I couldn't buy more because I was freaking out I was gonna go to a downward halt, and it was like it did get halted actually, but I had 300 shares at 18.20, then sold them for like 18.80 for a quick profit, shorted here, and actually got out so early on this short. I shorted right here for like 500, got out here. I could have held it, bought the dip here. So this is where my scalping really comes in handy, when I see huge moves like this, you know, and I just am very patient. I'm very selective with my limit orders. If it gets filled, it gets filled. If it doesn't get filled, it doesn't get filled. I don't fuck around with it. And by this time I was up $100 or something, so I was like, okay, fuck yeah, sick, making a comeback. Then I scalped it more and more and more, and it brought me up to $1,200. But I did trade a bunch of other stocks, so I'm gonna show you guys the first stock I traded and why I traded that. So this is PLUG. PLUG, if you look at the daily, I had these two dojis right here, and I was like, okay, I think this is gonna go down if the market continues to dump. And I knew the market opened up 0.30% down, or 0.40%. So I was like, I'm gonna wait. If this thing gaps up to the pre-market highs, I'm gonna short it. So I put a limit for 100 here and 200 here and like 400 right there. I don't know why I didn't put a little bit lower, but 300 shares got filled, and this thing just dumped, and in like 3 candles I got out for a $600 profit. I was like, alright, sick. And the thing is, I expected this kind of drop out of it, to be honest, but I was trying to be safe because it's Friday, but I got myself in shit, and I just saw $600, and I was like, alright, I'll take that. Then I saw TLRY, and I was thinking the same thing on TLRY. If it hits the pre-market high, I will short it, and I put limit here, but it didn't get filled. So here, so I was like, all right, maybe it just I missed that, so it went down, and I thought it was gonna go up to here, then start dumping again. So right here I had 200, and I added like 1,000 here, then covered here for like 450 loss. Then I think I bought 100 more here, and that got me like maybe $80 back. So I pretty much gave back everything on this trade. And I got in a few other Tilray trades that took me out too. I was trying to then switch to long for some reason, and just kind of put me in a weird spot. And that's when I kind of had that realization of just wait for these big extensions or big pullbacks to short or go long. And yeah, that kind of made that money back. So if you guys want, I think, yeah, I'm just gonna make a live I'm gonna record my trades next week, and I'm gonna try to find the really good scalps, and I'm gonna try to post those so you guys could see what I'm trading and how I'm doing them, because I think I've come across a really good strategy. Scalping has been really good. It's high commission, but man, whatever. If I made 12, if that's yesterday's trade is definitely the anomaly. There's no way in hell I would trade 80,000 shares for no reason. But if my commission is going to be around 15 to 20% of my profit, but me scalping is making me make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a day, I'll take that. I don't really care, because with these kind of companies, they're so big too. I can definitely scale up higher and higher. Like if I have $100,000 buying power, I'll put it in 100%, because it's so liquid that I can get in and out. It's the same thing as me trading the $10,000 shares. Like check out PLEG here. Let's see. Like 1.3 million shares here. Like let's even pick a small one here. A small candle is around 380,000 shares. Okay. If I am using $63,000 of my buying power, I'm using 1,000 shares. So if I get like $120,000 buying power, I'm using 2,000 shares, and on a smaller candle, around 300,000 shares got traded. I could easily get in and out, no problem. So I have no problem scaling up to it, but I got to make sure that when I'm scaling, my strategies are good. I'm not finding myself in that kerfuffle I had with CCIV kind of thing, right? So as long as the strategy is good, I don't mind scaling up if there's room to scale up, you know, because in my mind, I don't see that. I'm not saying it like, oh, $100,000 so much, like you could lose a lot. Yes, you could lose a lot for sure, but if the volume is there for me to scale in, it's just this same risk to me as I'm trading with $10,000, because the mistake I make at $10,000 will be the same I make with $100,000 margin wherever, because the mistake I made at 10,000 is because of my fuck ups, of me being emotional. It's not because there was not enough liquidity and slippage, you know. So it should be fine. I'm actually excited to scale up eventually. I think I'm gonna wait probably. So the account has $10,600 right now. If I can grow that account to have $15,000 by end of February, or whatever comes first, then I'm gonna scale up again. Until then, I'm gonna stick with between that $30,000 to $35,000 maximum position per entry. But yeah, guys, I know this is a bit of a longer video. There's just a lot of crazy shit went down, and I have to share my thoughts. But again, I'm happy with my strategy. I think I found something. I'm gonna post live videos next week of me trading them, and so you guys have an idea how I'm entering it, and how I'm gonna plan to get better and better. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys had an amazing week, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday, because Monday the market is closed. Alright, see you guys.